everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cristina Briseño Show. Today we have Joseph Trujillo with us today. Thank you so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you, my friend.
He is a global team leader with EXP, and he's going to be sharing with us how he retired from the government at such a young age and how he got into the real estate business and how his business is thriving. So Joseph, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that, my friend, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yes, of
Always
course.
a humbling moment. So, yeah, I've been pretty blessed that I've been able to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say my age because that's a little personal, but yeah, 22 years of government service.
Nice.
I spent some time in the military, and then I worked for a few three-letter agencies.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I think I was like my 19th year in government service where I made a decision to sell my house.
Okay.
And I ended up being that guy that didn't want to pay commission.
Okay.
I was one of them. So I said, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to just go out and get my real estate license and sell it myself.
Yeah.
So I did that. I took the classes, got the license, and I listed my own home. In the first weekend, I ended up getting my own buyer.
Okay.
And my own buyer actually had to sell his house.
Oh.
So I got 3 transactions in one.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know, $33,000 of commission later, I was like, well, this is about a tenth of what I make in the government.
Yeah.
And in a weekend. And so it was just a no-brainer. I just said, you know, I'm going to keep doing this part-time.
Which made sense.
Which made way too much sense.
Yeah, made sense, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like the sickest hustle.
Nice.
And for the remainder, that was like in July of 2018, I believe it was. And then the rest of that year, I ended up selling an additional 25 homes part-time.
So you retired fully and then just dove into the whole real estate side of it?
No, I actually kind of did it by the numbers. I didn't know what to expect out of the real estate industry.
Okay.
So I still stayed working in the government. I actually didn't fully retire until last January.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, last January was my first full year as a full-time real estate agent or team leader.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So then you and I met, George and I met through a Zoom in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Right.
So it was kind of like, who is this guy? And, had a conversation. So how did you deal with your business throughout the pandemic? Because you had just started, so it must have been kind of crazy, going into, nobody knew what was going to happen, right?
Right.
We didn't know we were going into that pandemic. But how did you, keep going, knowing, I'm just starting off? What kept you going after that? Knowing that it can come to a freeze, which it didn't, right?
Right.
But what was that like? What went through your mind?
Well, when I first got into real estate, let me rewind it back a little bit. I was actually working at a really small mom and pop's independent company.
Okay.
And I didn't join EXP until November of 2018. But going into EXP, I knew that the way the industry was kind of moving and that it seemed really archaic the way the approaches were to transactional sales. So when I seen this model, it just made sense for me to kind of move on with something that could be a disruptor in the real estate industry.
Okay, you had to make some noise.
You had to make some noise. Got to make some noise.
Yeah.
And so leading into the pandemic, it just put me in a great position to be able to expand and grow. So I kind of attribute the pandemic to a lot of the growth that I've had because the model that I belong to enables us to be able to prosper, to have tentacles, to be able to partner with great other agents and leaders, and just to expand the business. So it was pretty well positioned. I didn't know it at the time, but I remember a period, I think it was during the pandemic, between May and August, I attracted and grew my team by over 100 agents in just 3 months.
Wow. And what did you do to grow or have them trust you and believe in you being so new, you know what I mean?
Right.
Being so new. What did you do to attract them to you to believe in I'm going to help you? I mean, of course you helped them, but what was your mindset on that?
Yeah. Well, I attribute that mindset to everything that I've learned in my 20 some odd years of work,
with the
right?
government.
So I used to be really great at building organizations and small team environments. And so just being able to bring that kind of experience into real estate was different. Most real estate agents are where they jump from transaction to transaction, right? So it's just kind of like a hamster wheel, where I was more focused on expansion and growth. And so learning what I knew about this new model that was going to disrupt, enabled me to be able to connect with agents and show them another way of doing business. And by being able to express that to them and show them, right, everything is tangible. So I had to show them, like, look, you bring your business here and you partner with me, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And so that expansion happened as a byproduct of the way we had to kind of adapt to the market back then. So everything was Zoom.
Yeah.
So I remember being in my home office and I was doing 10 to 15 Zooms a day with some of the top agents in the industry, a lot of great agents, and just showing them like, hey, have you ever been curious about your business? Take a look at what I'm doing here. And if it's a good fit, then great. And if it's not, then we'll see. We can reconnect in the future.
Yeah, because not everybody, well, just kind of like we did. You know what I mean?
Just
it
like
wasn't
us.
at that point.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't a fit. It was just kind of chaotic at the time.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And at the time, I wasn't in your guys' marketplace.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So there was a little bit of a disconnect with distance.
So how many offices do you have now?
So 7 physical offices.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of set the teaser. We got a new office coming up that we'll talk about here shortly.
Yeah.
But we're adding another 2 offices here in Southern California. I just added one in Illinois, and then we're adding 2 more in Georgia and Texas.
So you're just taking over the nation.
That's the plan.
That's the plan,
yeah,
right?
we're on a growth pattern to have, and I truly believe it. It's going to happen. We're on a road to have 1 million agents in this company.
Nice. It's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds stupid,
But it's amazing.
Yes.
You know, one thing you said at your EXP event was when you went on stages, you believed in yourself, right?
Yeah.
You believe that you can do it. So I think that's a big part of like the growth is the belief part of it, because I think sometimes me even super guilty, like you have something in your mind and you have the mindset of it and you know that you're powerful enough to do it. But if you don't have that belief system, then it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all starts internally.
Yeah.
But the growth of that internal measure, once you start believing in other people more than they believe in themselves, that's when you start to create partnerships that are everlasting. You know what I mean? So that's where I find myself now is I'm all in. Like, there's no second guessing what I'm doing already.
Right.
It's just getting other people to think bigger and better about where they want to go in their career and in their life. So that's what I'm really passionate about now.
Yeah. And that's amazing that you're helping people and you believe in people and kind of educating, at the same time.
Absolutely.
Because I think right now, even the market that we're getting into, it's kind of like, where is it going? And nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At least in 2008, the market crashed and we knew we're screwed, right? Not everybody, but for the most part. And this is like kind of like, okay, it's like sink or swim. Keep going, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
So some of your realtors, like, I had a rep come in yesterday and they're like, people are already in fetal position. They're already giving up. They're already walking away. Where we feel like, okay, we're going to keep going. This is a great market for us. We're going to thrive in this market. You know what I mean? So you can have different mind, a different mind for each. Everybody has something different. They're thinking like it's over, or they're going to get the realtors that step out, go get a 9 to 5, and then when the market's great again, they tap back in.
Of course.
Which is kind of like, are you really realtor, part-time real? I don't know what you call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this market, like for my partnership with George and I, there is no other way. There was no other way in 2008. There's no other way now but up. You know what I mean? We just gotta, what we're doing now is we're just kind of reaching out to all the realtor partners that we have. Where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do? How can we help you?
Right.
And that's kind of how the partnership with you has been. What do we want? We want to be around people like you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we're going up, and whatever noise is happening with the whole market right now, it doesn't matter. And you get that, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, nothing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but some agents, just a lot of business owners are just not well positioned, to be able to sustain themselves the long term.
Right.
Right. So some of us are very excited about what's going to happen because we're going to eliminate the riffraff in the industry.
Exactly.
And that just creates more opportunity for those of us that have the drive, the hustle, ambition, and the foresight to be able to build our businesses. So if you're here and you're all in, you're going to win.
Yeah.
You're going to win.
And I think that getting your real estate license is so simple, right? Getting an NMLS. I mean, if you put the work into it, but it's the knowledge and the experience and the people that you surround yourself with that makes you like an entrepreneur. I mean, you already, become an entrepreneur, you have it in you. But I think the people that you surround yourself with is really important because, you get kind of like the riffraff that you said is anybody can be a realtor, anybody can get their license, but do you really have that, like, I'm gonna do this? You know what I mean? That gut, like, I'm gonna just kill it in this market and make something of it. You know what I mean? I'll just step in and out when it's good and it's bad, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I noticed that right away when I came into the industry was it's just a low bar to get in, right? But people acclimate to what they're around, and so they remain with low bar, ambitions and goals. It's not until you step into these bigger rooms, better rooms,
Right.
when you start, really collaborating with people that are doing something like impactful, and then the expansion starts to happen.
Right.
So that's why I get super pumped up about like having all these new, building new leaders, right? So it's different than when you're just like a one-man show and no shots at anybody. But if you're the main broker in an office and you're killing it there and but you're not duplicating you,
Right.
then that's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's just not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Businesses, and I'm sure you'll agree, businesses that are built off of personalities seldomly truly succeed.
Right.
They have to be duplicatable, replicatable. They have to be able to be copy and pasted, so then that way the expansion continues to happen.
Right. And I think you go further when you're together, when you have a team, when you're building other people up. Other, like you say, yeah, you could be the main broker, or I'm the boss, or I'm this or that, but not really. Like, you can't do it without everybody else. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You need a team. You need the other leaders pushing you through. You need everybody together. Or they say, you want to go fast, you go alone. You want to go far, you go together, right? So I always think that, like, having a team that believes in you, that believes in the vision, walking in faith, and just doing what we know, you can't lose.
No,
right? You
no,
can't
absolutely not. You want to, when people ask me, like, how do you choose who you want to align with, right? So, and I revert back to, like, some of the stuff I used to do before. Like, we used to have, like, survival mechanisms, right? Where, like, for example, like if there's a bunch of people drowning in the water, who do you save first?
Yeah.
Right? You save the people that swim toward you. So those are the people that align with your vision.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
those are the running mates that you want, not the people that are pushing back against what you're trying to obtain or achieve. I found that if I add that to my business, it's been pretty tremendous. So I'm finding like the best people in the industry that want to partner, that want to align and like really link arms to become leaders together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super
amazing.
cool.
Yeah. So I want to go back to when we met again. Fast forward almost a year and a half, 2 years later, the escrow officer who was like, I need you to meet this guy. And I don't know, at that moment, I was like, okay, I don't know, until we sat down or you showed up. And I was like, oh my God, we know this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like the reconnection with George, you and I, like, we just kind of took off, but we left off on that Zoom call.
Right.
And moving forward, like partnering up with you and all that, I'm super excited, like, what's coming. You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, we're super excited on what's coming, because sky's the limit on what we can do together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was more, for me, it was like more personal, because like, yeah, we had connected back then. I knew that I liked you guys just from the Zoom, because you can get the vibe. And our businesses just didn't align at that time. But like you said, fast forward to now, when I seen you guys at the table at the restaurant, I'm like, this is all family right here. It was like almost like nothing to discuss.
Right.
Because great people find a way to work together in business.
Yeah, and like you said, at that time maybe it wasn't the right time for us, and it wasn't aligned for us.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of picked up what we left off, like you said, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we just gelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just hit the
And
ground
here we are.
running and lights out.
Yeah, exactly.
Lights out.
Exactly.
So.
And then tell us a little bit about your show.
Oh, the show.
So is it All American?
American Dream.
American Dream.
American Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this has been an interesting year. There's been a lot of challenges just with, like, when you're really trying to build something momentous, you're gonna keep getting knocked down, and you got to keep getting back up. And I've noticed every time I get back up, I get more opportunity, more blessings, right? And so anybody that tells you that it's a straight and road that comes with no bumps or speed bumps in business is full of shit.
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, it just seems like every time I do something good, every time I'm giving back, every time I'm trying to build new people, an opportunity presents itself, and that's kind of what happened with the American Dream TV.
Okay.
So they were doing national castings for new hosts. So it's a really cool TV segment that captures like lifestyle, culture, and real estate. So I thought that was really cool because I don't like doing all the cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah.
So just walking a bunch of houses and stuff like that wasn't my vibe.
Yeah.
But being able to like talk about neighborhoods or collaborate with other leaders.
In the community, I saw you at Michael's and a couple other businesses.
Yeah, so we shot our first segment a couple weeks ago, and you and your team were incredibly helpful. So thank you for making those connections in our communities and stuff like that. So, but no, we're gonna bring a really cool wave to TV.
Yeah.
And it airs. My segment airs every other month on CBS, Fox, Amazon, and a bunch of other cable
Very
networks.
Cool. Nice.
So when it does, follow me on Instagram, and I'll put it out there.
Tell me what your Instagram is.
Instagram's at Icon Joe Trujillo.
Yes.
Icon Joe Trujillo. Okay.
That's amazing. So I love
Thank
to
you.
hear like successful stories of people just thriving. You know, just keep going and you keep vibing with people and just helping people, helping the community. You know, that's why I love that.
Got to.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, you got to do that. Now I'm actually taking a piece out of like some like you guys are amazing. You and your husband are amazing leaders. Giving back to like nonprofits, participating in community functions. Admittedly, it was something that I never had time to do when I was working full time for those guys and working more than full time in real estate. But now that I've had this opportunity where this expansion is happening, what it's done for me is create time freedom. So that time freedom has to come back somewhere. Yeah. And no better place to do that than with your friends, family, and community. So that's the path.
Spending time with everybody.
Absolutely.
Because you've already paid your dues with everything else and done the work.
Depends who you ask. Some people will be like, Joe, you've only been in the game 5 years and you haven't paid your dues, but it's not the amount of time that you put into
it's the work that you've been putting into. Yeah.
It's the value and the worth that I've put into the industry and trying to impact other people.
Yeah. And it's not a shortcut or anything because you're doing the work.
No.
You're doing the work.
Just because people get there faster doesn't mean that they're not worthy of the prize.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
because you're willing to blood, sweat, tears, doing what you got to do. Or you're doing what other people don't want to do or are not willing to do. You know what I mean? They still want to take the shortcut. Well, you think it's faster, but it's going to take you longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's, it's just nonsense to think that you have to follow this trajectory that everybody's followed forever. You can do a lot of great things in a short amount of time. I mean, you can learn how to read fast, you can learn how to run faster, you can learn how to do anything fast.
Yeah.
And that just shortens the window for you to be able to do more. Right. Right? So I think if people really paid attention to their business and did things faster, like I always tell people, sometimes people they just do things too slow. Yeah. Talk too slow or walk too slow or interact too slow. It's just like,
because the results don't take it long. No. It's the people that take it long.
Yeah, it's like get your ass up and go do it.
Or you can sit there and dream about it, or you can go, get off your ass and go do something. Yeah. Right?
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
So how does Dream Chasers come in, or how was that created, or how does your whole team is Dream Chasers, right? Right. How did you come up with that?
Yeah, so...
Or does all EXP have different names for their teams? Or?
Yeah, so it's like an evolution, right, in business. And so when we first came to EXP, I brought a very small team, and we were California home professionals, and it was very cookie cutter-ish, and it wasn't a place where there was going to be a lot of growth. Okay, it was run like a traditional sales team, and so as we started to expand at EXP, you have to really align people with the vision that you have, not just for yourself, but for the better good of everybody. And so I came up with the EXP Dream Chasers. And so it's our group, but within our group, now that's over 600 plus agents. Within that group, now we have a bunch of sub-teams. So it's really organizational built. Okay. So if you think of it like a family tree, Dream Chasers is the top of the tree. Okay. And then now we start having all these subgroups with phenomenal brokers and teams. And we're sitting in an office now that we'll talk about shortly that is an expansion of that, but has its own fruit, that has its own entity, its own vibration, and to see and everyone will become its own entity. Yeah. So you're almost like almost like making babies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And each one is its own
all
child,
different,
and
yeah.
that child is gonna, you
The
want
personalities
yeah.
and yeah.
But the thing about that growth, right, is that like you want your children, I have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 beautiful kids. You want your kids to be bigger and better than you.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So if you come from a place of contribution where you want these entities to have that same framework and be bigger and better and create something that's legacy and everlasting, then it has to be implemented right from the beginning. And so there's a blueprint that we have, and that's why I like to think that so many great agents are partnering with me and my other team members, because we're giving it all away.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, here it is. Take it
You
and run
want
away
it?
with it.
Yeah.
Make it your own,
Yeah.
but take it and run away with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
it's cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what we're doing here with the Long Beach office.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What made you come to Long Beach? Let me ask you that question, because you were out in Claremont, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us that transition.
Well, there's a little bit of alignment there in the
Okay.
stars, certainly. So I happened to move out here personally without any expectations of an office. And with the office, it brought me to it, admittedly. Like my partners that I would love to introduce you to here shortly, they came together as an entity. So I take absolutely zero credit for what is happening here, other than just trying to come from a place of contribution and support. The leaders that are in place at this particular office are different than some of the other leaders that I've had in my organization.
The more unique.
Well, unique's a very cute word, but they're go-getters, but they kind of almost don't care about what's happening on the outside because they know the success is going to build internally. You know what I mean? So it's different. Like most of my other partners come from a place of like hardcore sales, and these 2 amazing women, they know that we have something amazing here, and it's infectious, right? Like people are starting to like, they see it. Like I have people hitting me up every single day. We're barely posting like these little mini clips on social media, and like everybody's like, the office is sick. Like I want to go to that office. Introduce me to your partners. And so I've really never had that kind of outreach prior to opening an office. So this is something special. Like this is going to be.
They're like, stay tuned, and they can't wait.
Next level.
They can't wait to see.
Yeah.
What I think of, these girls, because I feel like I've known them forever.
Right.
I think they have this like vibe, right? I keep saying vibe because it's
Definitely.
vibe, whatever. Where like you said, like a lot of people want to be still like in this corporate America, and like real estate is this way and mortgage is this way, and put your hair back, and and those days are so over for me, at least. I mean, I'm dressed up today or whatever, but you'll find me in sweats and my tennis shoes or gym clothes, or on days that I'm gonna dress up today. So it's like a big mix here in Long Beach, and I think like these girls are bringing that, like you come to work and it's your other home, and it's just chill, right? Because we spend a lot of time in this is our other home, right? Our office is our other home.
Definitely.
But I think like people like pop in, and kind of at our office, somebody pops in every single day. Everybody says, hey, how you doing? Let's go have some lunch, blah, blah, blah. Can I work out of here for like a minute and do this? So it's like, I feel like this is the same kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, come on in. Don't spend, 10 hours here.
Yeah.
But you come in and like, how's that family feel? You know what I mean? Where it's not like, we're still getting our work done, but we're having a good time doing it. It's not that time we're like, I need to sit in an office and, everybody sits out there. It's kind of like, more like everybody shared space. You know what I mean? There's no more titles. I'm the boss and I'm down here.
No.
Where back in the day it was that. You know what I mean? So we're bringing like a different feel, I think, to this whole real estate thing. Is like, it doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be like grind. I mean, we're grinding, yes, and it's not easy. This is not easy to put together. None of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, it is. It is not easy to build out an office.
Yeah.
I've done 7 of them.
Which is a huge, like, commitment-wise even. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
commitment, resources, everything has to come together.
And you have to be smart about it, and in choosing like your partnerships, you said, how do you choose them? You said, who do you save, or how did you choose these amazing women to be part of your team?
Well, they chose me.
Oh, they chose you.
Yeah, they chose me. Like, I mean, they're already part of my organization.
Yeah.
But I have, not everybody has a vision of wanting their own, like, physical entity, right? And so they came together with the idea and the thought, and they brought it to the table, and I'm like, oh, of course, I have to be picky about who I'm partnering with. It's a business decision, but knowing both of
execute.
them, from their, real estate history, their business acumen, bringing that all together along with their personalities, I'm like, there's something here. Like, this is going to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
And so we got it off the ground. It got off the ground quick. It's been the smoothest implementation of an office that I've experienced. Yeah.
Because I met you guys with the girls, in maybe like January, February, I want to say? Or December, somewhere like that, right?
It was somewhere around there, the beginning of the year.
And you were just kind of talking about it, and then with the girls, and so it's still kind of in the works, right? It wasn't even like no location yet, no nothing, I don't think.
Yeah, we started with the vision of it. Yeah.
And it's so crazy how you can create, like, you have a vision, and how it starts, like, folding together, coming together, right? And I think that's, like, the best part is that when it does come together and you see it, like, unfolding, and, like, let's add this, let's add that, and, like, even more ideas pop in, and people want to be part of. They want to be part of all these things.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, trust. I learned a lot from this office that I didn't experience. And so I think that's the beauty of it too, is like when you're collaborating with people, like you don't have to be the know-it-all, right? Sometimes you have to delegate authority. Sometimes you have to trust people enough that they're going to do it their way, and that it may be better than yours.
Yeah.
Right?
That's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's a beautiful thing when it happens like that.
And that's a growth that I think you as always being the leader, the boss, and you kind of step down a little bit. It's okay, because then you're giving the okay for that other person to come in and take over.
Right.
And give you better. We don't know everything. I want to think I know everything all the time, but but I don't.
Yeah.
But and I'm starting to see that in myself. Like, okay, show me a better way, or make it easier for me, or this or that. You know what I mean? To kind of like step back and let them kind of take over.
Oh yeah. It requires you to put your ego, in the back seat.
Yep.
But once you start doing that, then you start to have personal development and growth yourself. So this experience has enabled me to do that. So I've been pretty blessed to have both of them on line in business. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, let's meet the ladies.
Let's do it.
Let's meet them.
Let's bring them up.
Let's bring them up.
So can I mention the name and everything?
Yes,
So
of course.
we're in the city of Long Beach, and it's Vibe Real Estate Advisors, powered by EXP, and my two partners are Olivia Venegas and Diane Vara.
Wonderful.
Let me squeeze in.
Hey. Welcome,
So
ladies.
these are the brains.
Yes.
So exciting.
Behind all of it. So share with us how you chose Joseph.
Okay. Do you want me to start? Yes. So I think alignment is like a really good word. I heard you guys say it a couple times.
Yeah.
With this office, I think everything just aligned from me and Diane having the same vision of an office, and it just being a casual conversation, to partnering with Joe, to meeting you. I think everything has just aligned.
Nice. And then you girls say, if we had conversations, you were talking about it
Over in Mammoth.
Okay, yeah. Right?
Yes.
We were on a girls' snow trip.
Yeah.
And it just so happened at 5 o'clock in the morning over coffee in the kitchen, we had this idea to create this collaborative, creative space. And within a matter of days, we had found our office.
Yeah.
Even finding the office, everything kind of just fell into our lap. So
Yeah. It was meant for you.
it was meant for us,
Yeah,
so
it
it
felt
feels
right. Yeah, it
and
felt
then we
right.
thought of Joseph, because obviously everyone knows Joseph, and he has these offices opened and a lot of knowledge behind that.
Yeah.
And I love that he has let us just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's so easy to work with, and he's just, like, we laugh because he doesn't tell us no.
Yeah.
Joe,
I said no
He
once.
said no one time.
To plan, to very expensive
It was a
plan.
plan.
They wanted to buy an $850 plan.
We were just
a
testing
rare
him. But yeah, he just let us go with it. So this was just like our vision, and like you said, we just wanted a collaborative space that people can feel welcome to come in here. No competition.
Friendly competition's okay.
Friendly
but
competition's
yeah.
okay, yeah, but it just good energy,
Yeah.
good vibes. good people, and that's the same vision that we both had. We just wanted a space people can come and feel comfortable, not so corporate.
Yes.
Like a home away from home.
Yeah. And is that how you guys came up with the vibe name?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just kind
You
of
just want everybody to
happens.
vibe with each other when you come here. It's kind of vibey in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I
It's
think
like
we
the
did it.
perfect name,
Yeah.
It is, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
We
sure, and it
played
kind of grew on us because
Yeah.
we're like, you know what? We keep saying it, and that's what we want in here, vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that like Joe believes so much in you guys, you know what I mean? To kind of give you that range, just do it. Like I see the vision, I see the dream, I like it, and you guys just run with it. Like you got the green light,
Yes.
and look at what you've done. This is amazing, you guys. This is
Very
so
proud of
amazing.
us.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Super proud of you guys.
They like take action is not the word. Like
Yeah.
they thought the idea, they shared it with me, and it was a few days later, like we're signing lease agreements. It's like
Yeah.
it was just that quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how partnerships are made. You know what I mean? Like let's pull the trigger, because you can sit around and think about it, and a year passes by.
Right.
Because you're scared that you might fail, or you're afraid that screw it. You know, I might fall on my face and I'll get back up and figure it out, or this didn't work out, or sometimes we're afraid of like what they're going to say that we didn't make it. Well, at least we tried, at least we can say that we did it, you know, we did it, didn't work out, okay, great. But this is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? So, I'm super excited. So when is your grand opening?
June 7th.
June 7th.
Yes, Tuesday.
Okay. All right.
5 to 8, it'll be here.
5 to 8 in the courtyard, which is beautiful
Yes.
out there.
Yep.
Nice. And so what is your guys' goal to just, how many realtors are you looking to have in this office? Have you thought of like, when you fill this place up, expanding, or what are your guys' thoughts?
I've thought of that. I would love to get another suite in this building when we expand. I don't think we have a number of agents that
Okay.
in mind. We just want as many people, you know, as that fit in this office, because I feel like it's a certain kind of person that would appreciate this. And I think there's a lot of us out there, and
Yeah.
people are gonna love to plug in, and I would love to expand to another office.
Yeah. And it's funny how everybody like kind of knows, like the word is out. I had one of my title reps. He's like, hey, check this out. You know, EXP is opening up an office in Long Beach with these girls. And I was like, oh yeah? I was like, are their names this and that? And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, just messing with them. I'm like, he's like, can I come? And I'm like, of course you can come.
yes.
Yeah. The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, people are watching.
Yeah.
I had somebody the other day, one of my partners out of state,
Yeah.
and she sent it to her team leader, and she's like, "This is how I want my office."
Yeah.
Like way out of state.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. So
We'll send Moji out there.
Send her out.
Yeah, send her out there.
these two are gonna get hired to like build offices now. So they're not.
Just
They're
project
not
managers-
available.
Just project
They're not
managers
available.
to get that going, right?
Yes.
I'll show you.
Can we talk about how we met?
Yes. Oh my God, that's really funny, right? Okay. So Olivia and I had been friends for, I would say, like a good 2 years on
On
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
On Instagram. She's a mom boss. I'm the fit lender. And so, you know, just I liked her stuff because she's into fitness. I'm into fitness, and we just like her stuff. But part of me was like, I wonder if she's stuck up, or I wonder if she's like this, or I wonder if she's like not friendly, or whatever, right? So fast forward 2 years, we're at a NARP event on a Friday night, and I was coming out of the bathroom, and she's standing there in line, and I look at her, I'm like, I said, are you the mom boss? I said, and then she goes, I am. And I was like, I know you. And she's like, you do? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm the fit lender. We call ourselves
In the
by our
restroom.
age.
I'm
And she's
like,
like,
"Wash your hands."
oh, okay.
Classic.
So then she was kind of like, not that she was being like, whatever about it, but she didn't know who I was, right? So I'm washing my hands. She goes, oh my God. She goes, I know you. She's like, you're the fit lender. I'm like, yeah, I am. But I had already told her. And she's like, oh my God. And I follow
minute to
you.
click.
It took a minute to click. But the rest of the night was like, we're taking pictures, and we're like, I feel like I've known you forever. Can I have your phone number? And like, it just clicks like that. You know what I mean? And then
And
like,
then you brought up the office too.
because we had just moved into our office, kind of, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that was in
no, the Long
February.
Beach office, because you talked to Joe,
Ah.
but you didn't know that.
Oh,
me and
that's
Diane
right.
Yes.
were in this too. Yeah.
That's right. And because we didn't know each other, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been talking to this guy about, you know, he has a partnership and he's going to be opening up an office in Long Beach, but, you know, who would have known that it was you two? And I didn't even know about you yet
Yes.
until, like, you know, we all met at my office, but such a small world, right?
Super
Such a small world. Yeah, when we get together, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah. But that's not, I think that's, again, alignment. And things are supposed to work out the way, you know, without planning it. Because I didn't plan on meeting you and meeting the girls. I'm planning on meeting you at the Naruto event.
In
You
the
know what I mean? And hitting it off the way we did. You know when I met you, Diane, too, it was kind of like, okay, who's this girl coming? You know what I mean? And who's this girl coming in?
So we have to.
And for women, it's always a little bit more catty, right?
Oh, bro,
always,
for
and
sure.
the guys, right? Because the guys can be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do this, whatever. But the girls are like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the fact that like, okay, this is what our vision is. This is what I want. This is what we want. Could it work? Hell yeah, because you're kind of like dudes a little bit too. Like we're not,
Yeah.
we can be girly and prissy, but we're like more like, okay, let's get it done. What are we looking to do? And let's execute and do it.
Yes.
Right? And I think that's why it works. I think our partnership
Yeah.
works for that reason. And George and I believe in all of this that's about to go down. You know what I mean? Just watch us take over Long Beach like we say. We're not here to
Exactly.
take part, we're here to take over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I am super excited for what's to come, for the grand opening, and for future, offices that we can open together even. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
thank you so much for being in my show today, and this is one of, the first one of many that we'll be doing together. So
Love
thank
it.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.